Trump has said things. For instance, the reality of fentanyl. This isn't resolving that problem. The Americans will continue to die in large numbers because of fentanyl. That fentanyl is coming over the border from Mexico. So what, are we going to go in and take out the Mexican president next? Because the president has said that the drug cartels in Mexico are a big problem. He's creating a parallel argument for Mexico to apply the Venezuelan solution. What about Colombia? One of the biggest sources of narcotics. All the things that we've accused Venezuela of doing is actually coming out of Colombia. Are we going to remove the Colombian leadership? This is the path that we're headed on right now. This is America first. This is make America great again. It's about, and again, I called this back in April. I said that this president is moving towards a Fortress America mindset, that we are going to decouple ourselves to the extent possible from Europe, from the Middle East, to concentrate our forces here in our own hemisphere, where we will be extraordinarily aggressive. Wait for Panama. That ain't done yet. Wait for Peru. There's a big port facility in Peru where China is shipping in containers that they go on a railroad that go to Brazil, bypassing the Panama Canal. How long do you think Trump's going to let that port facility function the way it is? If the Peruvian government won't shut it down, there won't be a Peruvian government in place that does. This is the standard that Donald Trump has set. When we decide that a Western Hemisphere nation possesses resources that are to the benefit of the United States, we apparently have the right to do anything we want to gain control of those resources. Let this be a lesson learned to the Danish. You no longer own Greenland. You might think you do. There might be a Danish flag up there now. You just lost Greenland because the president just got away with violating international law on a massive scale. And if you think for a second that we didn't handpick the next special envoy to Greenland for the purpose of taking over Greenland and make it part of America, you don't know how this president works. We live in a new day and age where, the United States has become an imperial power ruled by a dictator because Congress refuses to do its job and the American people are asleep at the wheel.
Do you see a nexus between what happened in Venezuela and the coming Israeli-American attack on Iran?
Yeah, yes, we do. Look, Venezuela, let me put it this way. The thing that Iran, Venezuela, and Russia all have in common is that American sanctions policies have been applied aggressively to all three of these. Now, the purpose of the sanctions policy is to bring about economic despair, economic harm. And then what happens is when the people are impacted in a negative fashion economically, then you create the false illusion of a gateway to salvation. If you just do what we tell you to do, we can lift the sanctions and everything's going to be good. And if you buy into that lie, you've created leverage now, because what you've done is create hope that will not manifest itself. And that can be turned into, fuel for opposition against the government in place. This is what happened in Venezuela. We basically ask yourself this: while Venezuela was under a naval blockade, remember, we're boarding ships and doing all this stuff. Why did, I think it was between 4 and 8 tankers, oil tankers, leave Venezuelan ports bound for the United States? Because those tankers carried oil for Chevron. And what we did there is show the Venezuelans that we can shut down your oil, but we can also let your oil flow. And when that oil flows, money accrues to people. And all you people that wanted a better life with the lifting of sanctions now see the light. All you have to do now is play our game. And our game is Maduro's got to go. And they fell for it. That's what's happening in Iran today. The Iranians have allowed themselves to buy into the notion that sanctions could be lifted. And that creates economic hope that isn't realized, that creates despair, that creates the opportunity for an opposition to arise. And that's what we see. And this is what could happen in Russia. We have the sanctions in place. Now you have Kirill Dmitriev meeting with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. I mean, the most unconventional diplomatic interface the world's ever seen. And all they're talking about is economic potential, economic potential, economic potential. At the same time they're doing this, the CIA launches an attack against the Russian president's residence. Now, they weren't going to kill Putin, but it sent a signal we can get you, and we're getting you. We're trying to get you at a time when we're pretending to have diplomat. We embarrassed you. This attack was designed to show President Putin as weak at the same time that we were telling the Russian people who are suffering from sanctions that your life could be better if you just bettered relations with us. But now Putin, because Trump, I'm very upset with Putin about Ukraine. This is the game that's being played right now to bring down the Russian government. It's the same thing we successfully did in Venezuela. Now, I'm not saying Delta Force is going to go into the Kremlin and pull out Putin. It's not. But what they're trying to do is create domestic unrest. This is the same old policy we had before. The Russians have to wake up, and they have to wake up to realize that the United States can't be trusted, that there is no negotiating good faith on the part of the United States. And sadly, the Kirill Dmitriev initiative, I think, is dead in the water. It has to be shut down.